As we have looked at communication in the real world, we know that it is important to our lifestyle. Almost all of us have adjusted the way that we speak when we are communicating with others so that we can get approval from them and have a positive image in front of others, for we want to fit into the crowd. Communication accommodation theory is just that. It is a theory that suggests when people interact, they adjust their vocal patterns, speech, and gestures to accommodate to others. Each and every day, I have to accommodate my communication skills to that of others based on the situation and skills of the other person. Communication accommodation theory has shaped the world and the individuals in it to how they communicate and interact with others on a daily basis. I will explain my personal relevance to the communication accommodation theory, what the communication accommodation theory involves, and the significance of the theory to intergroup and interpersonal communication. I selected a communication accommodation theory because of how I have always been interested in how people change the way they speak or their body language towards another person when interacting. I became interested in the communication accommodation theory because of how it relates to the real world today. Whether any of us realize it or not, we match our accent, our vocabulary, stance, and gestures to that of the person that we are interacting with at any time. In doing this, it makes others feel accepted and makes them like you more than they did before because of the similarities you possess. Most people today want to be accepted into society, and so the communication accommodation theory helps them to do so. Although it can make you come off as fake and rude to a listener or speaker depending on the situation. I also selected the communication accommodation theory because of how it has had a negative effect on people around me. One of my friends at the time of this taking place had been a bit of an outcast, for he did not talk to many people. He had been approached by this group of people who were not the best people to be around. The group appealed to his communication skills and sympathized with him to get him to join their group. There he started to accommodate to the people he interacted with and started to use drugs and alcohol. Communication accommodation theory was originally developed as a speech accommodation theory by Howard Giles, Anthony Mullock, James J. Braddock, and Patricia Johnson in 1987, but was later originated to communication accommodation theory by Howard Giles, Nicholas Copeland, and Justin Copeland in 1991. Giles and his colleagues argued that when interactions occur with others, individuals will accommodate their speech and language patterns, either by matching their partner's speech or by differentiating their speech and language use. In 1991, Giles and Copeland believed that individuals fit into a wide variety of social groups that can be based on ethnicity, race, gender, and religion. With this, they maintained that these social groups shape each individual's collective identity. Howard Giles was the main person who developed the communication accommodation theory. Giles was a professor of linguistics and psychology at the University of California, Santa Barbara. He was trying to find the reason for the shifts he observed in the speech of most people as they interacted with different people in the aftermath of their behavior. Based off the theory, Giles found that there are two types of accommodation processes explained by the communication accommodation theory. The first type of accommodation process is convergence, which is where people tend to adapt other communication characteristics to reduce the social differences between them. The second type is divergence, which contradicts the process of adaptation, and the emphasis is on social difference and nonverbal difference between the communicators interacting. Communication accommodation theory is a principal concept to comprehend in relation to intergroup and intercultural communication. The theory invokes the dual importance of both concepts in predicting and understanding the intergroup interactions that occur. Intergroup communication views communication as a changing process where each speaker's intelligence, emotions, and motivations influence communication behavior and interactions. When Giles was first developing the theory, he theorized that the bridge from social, psychological to language and communication. Intergroup relates back to the communication accommodation theory because of how intergroup communication is between groups and must accommodate themselves to others. It has also been most applied to intercultural communication. Communication accommodation theory has shaped the world and the individuals in it to how they communicate and interact with others on a daily basis. It has taught me many valuable lessons and continues to interest me today. The theory also relates to many communication skills, such as intercultural and intergroup communication. All in all, the communication accommodation theory has existed throughout our world for a long time and will continue to be there as long as we continue to try and accommodate to what others communicate. Thank you.